Today I was thinking we would work on hamstrings and quads, a little bit on shoulders, plenty of twists in preparation for Bird of Paradise. And Bird of Paradise is a challenging balance pose. As you know, we start off to get into Bird of Paradise, we get into extended side angle, hop the back foot forward, and then we stand on that foot we just brought forward. And you're in the bind in Bird of Paradise, and then you lift one leg up and try and straighten it. You don't have to do it, obviously. If you have a block or strap, that would help. So we'll be using some straps to open the chest, maybe do a little bit of extra hamstrings while we're lying on our backs. Start off seated, close the eyes, get tall, relax the shoulders, but at the same time broaden across the collarbone. It's almost like you're trying to observe yourself. Just working your way up from the ground, grounding the sit bones, getting the back neutral, natural curve of the lower back, not overemphasizing it, but you're trying not to round the back. Get length in the spine, so it's almost like you're reaching the crown of the head towards the ceiling, but at the same time you're taking the chin, retracting the head back, so you're not jutting the head forward. A lot of times we jut the head forward. We do it when we're looking close at the computer or at a phone. Try not to do it. Totally relax the shoulders and bring more attention to the breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Long, slow, deep breaths. Inhale, filling the lungs, expanding the ribs. Exhale, make the exhale just as long as the inhale. Inhale. And exhale. A couple more rounds. What we're going to do next, we're still going to do that deep breathing, but we're going to pause at the top once we've filled the lungs, pulled in the air. We're going to hold the breath for a count of 4, unless you have high blood pressure. And if you have high blood pressure, don't hold the breath. Whenever you're ready, inhale for 4. Hold the breath for 4. Exhale for 4. Inhale 4. Hold for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 4. 3 or 4 more rounds at your pace. Regular breathing, and just work on the shoulders, bringing one shoulder forward, up, back and down. So as we work to Bird of Paradise, we're trying to open up the shoulders, the hips, the hamstrings, the quads. Balance is a challenge. It's not an easy pose. Totally relax the shoulders. Extend the right arm forward, shoulder back, and you're going to pull above the elbow until you find an easy stretch. Just feel that stretch. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, we deepen. Inhale. Exhale, we deepen that stretch. We're taking our time. Letting the mind and the body work together. And the breath. We add a twist. So if you're pulling the right arm in, you're twisting to the left. Pulling the left arm in, you're twisting to the right. We come back to center. We bring the other arm up, extend it forward, palm parallel to the ground, shoulder back. You're pulling above the elbow, finding that stretch, easy stretch. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, pulling that arm in a little closer. Work with the breath. And then start adding the twist. We're back to center. We interlace the fingers. Really push the fingers, the hands into each other as you extend those arms forward, stretching out the hands and the arms. Take 3 breaths. Keeping that back neutral, shoulders back. And then we start bringing the arms up towards the ceiling. Eventually, if the shoulders are okay with this, we're framing the face. If the shoulders are unhappy, just lower the arms to the ground. Keep within your comfort zone. Breathe. We interlace the hands behind us, interlace the other way. Pull the shoulders down, shoulder blades in, hinge forward with the head up. Go as far as you can and then tuck the chin and start bringing the arms up towards the ceiling. And then just relax the shoulders if you can. And then see if you can bring the arms up a little higher. Again, try and soften the shoulders, and then a little higher. 2 or 3 more breaths. And then we slowly come back up. We take the right hand over to the side. So good 2 feet away from you. You're pushing into the mat. You're reaching up with the other arm. And then you reach a little higher and a little higher, and then you take the side stretch. And you're looking up towards the ceiling. Inhale. We come over to the other side, reaching the other arm up, higher and higher, exhaling over to the other side. Inhale, we come back up. We come onto our backs. We bring the left leg up to the ceiling, holding onto the back of the leg. Point and flex the foot a few times. And then just circle the foot in one direction. circle in the other direction. Point and flex again. And then pull the knee in and extend the other leg on the ground. Pulling that left knee in as close as you can. And then we switch legs. Other leg comes up to the ceiling, holding onto the back of the leg. We point the toes towards the ceiling and then towards the face, point and flex. Or strictly speaking, it's a plantar flexion as you point the toes, dorsiflexion as you pull the toes in. Well, most people say pointed flex. And then we circle one direction, and then we circle the foot in the other direction. We point and flex again, and then we pull that knee in, keeping the other leg extended, pushed into the ground. Both feet to the ground. We pull the knees in and lightly touch the ground with the toes. We'll just work the core a little bit. Just do this a few times. Keeping that core working. Your hands are on your belly. You can feel those muscles working. And then we're going to straighten one leg. Other leg is knees bent. Legs are going to be nice and low to the ground. Lower back is low to the ground. And if you want, you can add the arms as one knee comes in, the opposite arm is going over the head. Nice easy way, I think, to strengthen the core a little bit. Keep that flat belly. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both feet to the ground, windshield wipers. Feet are on the ground wider than hips. And we take the knees over from side to side, working the obliques a little bit this time. Inhale as the knees come up, exhale down. We're getting that twist again. Warming up the spine. And the obliques are doing a little bit of work for us on this one. If you want a bit more challenge, we take the legs up 90 degrees between the legs and the torso, arms out maybe about halfway. We take the legs down and then back up and then over to the other side, maybe about halfway down. Just going from side to side, take your time. Not too low, but get a little bit of a challenge. Arms and hands helping you to go down slow and to help you bring the legs back up. And you're breathing, you're not holding the breath. Couple more each side. And then we bring the legs back to center. We hold onto the back of the legs. We lift the head up, bend the knees. We're going to rock ourselves into boat. You can rock a couple of times and then see if you can bounce on the sit bones. You can keep hold of the legs or arms either side of the legs. You can raise the legs, whatever. Just try and keep the back neutral. Try not to round the back. Opening that chest, relaxing the shoulders for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We pull the feet in. We come onto our hands and knees. Cat-cow. Inhale, belly down, head up. Exhale, rounding the back, tucking the chin. Inhaling into cow. Exhale, cat. We stay in cow, belly down, head up. We pull the hands towards the knees. You're not moving the hands, but you're trying to pull them in closer. You're pulling the knees towards the hands. You feel it in that core. That core is working. We're back in neutral. We bring the right arm up. Hand is higher than the shoulders if you can. And we bring the whole torso, the whole body forward and breathe. Opposite leg comes up, optional. Still trying to keep that whole body a little bit more forward, keeping that extended hand higher than shoulders if you can. And we switch. Just the other arm to begin with. Raise it. Bring the body forward. Breathe. Opposite leg comes up. If you want to add the leg, you don't have to. You don't have to take the leg too high, so I don't bring it higher. Keep it nicely lined up with the rest of the body. And then I'm bringing myself a little bit more forward. And then hand down, and we come into child's pose. Just relax. Back on your hands and knees. Tap the toes. Downward facing dog. Bring the feet a little closer to each other. So there's a couple of inches between the big toes. Start walking the dog. Bend one knee as you straighten the opposite leg. Take your time. Stretching out the calf muscles. Now take the legs wider. So the little toes are almost to the edge of the mat. So the feet are a little bit wider than usual. We're getting more length. Grounding the hands, pulling the armpits towards the ground. You're looking between the legs. Trying to get the back neutral. So we've got that little bit of a dog tilt. Keep pulling those armpits towards the ground. And see if you can get a little deeper with the breath. If you can keep the back neutral, you can start bringing the heels closer and closer to the ground. We walk the feet closer to each other. We look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up. Exhale as you fold forward, relaxing the head. Bend the knees. Inhale, coming into chair. Exhale, we come all the way up. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Look up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, back into mountain. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward again. Inhale, come up. Exhale, mountain. We're getting into that rhythm. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, mountain. Come to the front of the mat. Inhale into chair. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We're back into plank. Keep the elbows in, knees down, chin, chest forward and down. Inhaling into cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up to the ceiling. And then stack the hips. So we're bending that top knee. We're trying to stack the right hip over the left hip. and we're keeping both hands onto the ground. Now come into, do flip the dog, wild thing. So we're going to take that top leg all the way over, bending the knees, and we open up towards the ceiling. Breathe. We unflip, extending the same leg. We switch legs, left leg up, we stack the hips, bending that top knee, and we just let that top leg go all the way over as we open up into flip the dog on the other side. Wild thing, some people call it. You're breathing. We unflip. Top foot joins the bottom foot. Knees to the ground. Child's pose for 2-3 breaths. We come up, we sit on the heels, we bring the hands behind us, fingers lined up with the toes, puff out the chest, really open up the front of the body, head back carefully, maybe bring the hips up and breathe, getting a good stretch with the arms again, whole front of the body really opening. You're going to feel in the front of the hips. We bring the sit bones down, we slide those hands forward, downward facing dog. Look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up, exhale folding forward, knees bent. We're back in chair and then into mountain. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale halfway up, exhale, we plant the hands. We're back into plank. Chaturanga on knees, chin, chest to ground, cobra or up dog, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Now this time you can either bring the knee down to the ground and you could do a side plank, or we bring the knee forward so it's off the ground almost between the hands, but we shoot the leg over, lining the foot over with the hands, and we come into star pose. And you breathing. We bring the hand down. We shoot the same leg back. We switch. Other leg comes up. Either a side plank or star pose, shooting the leg over to the other side and opening up. Bring that top hand down. Extend that leg. Top foot joins the bottom foot, look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up, exhale folding forward, knees bent. We're back into chair and then we come all the way up. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale halfway up, exhale we fold forward. Now this time, bend the knees, resting the belly on the legs. Take hold of the back of the legs. So if you look at my hands, they're round the back of the ankles, fingers coming inside the ankle, thumb is round the outside. So I've got a really good grip. And I'm going to really grab those ankles, pulling myself closer to the ground. I've got the belly resting on the legs. Head is totally relaxed. And then I'm going to see if I can straighten those legs a little bit. Breathe. Feeling that stretch all the way up the back of the legs. A little bit more weight on the toes. And then you release, bend the knees, and you just roll up. And we come back into mountain. A little bit of a side stretch here. Bring the arms up towards the ceiling. Interlace the fingers, point the index finger towards the ceiling, reach towards the ceiling, and then lean over to one side. Trying to keep the whole body in one plane. Try not to let one shoulder come more forward than the other shoulder. And then we inhale, And exhale, we let ourselves go a little deeper. Another breath or two. And then we inhale as we come up, we reach again, and then exhale over to the other side. Going a little deeper on the exhales. Inhale, we come back up, and we bring the arms either side, and we shake the arms out, move those shoulders again. Extend the arms to the side. We're just going to do half eagle. We bring the right arm under the left arm, and we come into chair, and we bring those arms up. So we're just working on the shoulders, focusing on the shoulders. Feel that stretch. It should feel good, feel that stretch across the upper back. And then we come up, we shake out again, we bring the arms up, we bring the left arm under the right arm, eagle arms, chair, and then bringing the arms up, take a breath or two. And release. What I'd like us to do, I think we'll go back onto the mat, and if you have a strap, that might be useful, and we're just going to work on the hamstrings a little bit with the strap. So onto your back, take the strap around the right foot, the ball of the foot. If you don't have a strap, you can hold onto the foot, maybe you can do that anyway, or you can hold onto the back of the leg. If you have a strap, wrap the strap around the right hand, and we're stretching out the back of the leg here. The other leg, the knee can be bent with the foot on the ground, or you can extend the leg on the ground. Extend the leg on the ground. I want you to imagine you doing this standing. So the left foot is the standing foot. We bring the left hand onto the left hip, trying to keep that hip grounded as we take that top leg over to the side. And you're starting to point the toes down, heel up. We bring the leg back up and we hold onto the strap with the other hand, or you can hold onto the foot or the back of the leg if you don't have a strap, and we take the leg over to the other side. Trying to keep the shoulders grounded this time. We bring the leg back up. We switch. Strap is around the other foot, or you're holding onto the foot or the leg. We wrap the strap around that left hand so you've got a really good grip. So you could just hold it with one hand if you wanted. We extend the other leg on the ground. You're trying to straighten that leg, that top leg. And you're trying to engage the quads a little bit. And then we start taking the leg over to the side, keeping the opposite hip grounded as much as you can. We turn the toes down, heel up. And then we bring the leg back up. We hold the strap with the other hand. And we take the leg over to the other side, trying to keep both shoulders grounded. Getting into that a little bit of a twist here. The leg comes back up. We put the strap to one side. We pull the knees in and we bring the outer of the left foot onto the right leg. We hold onto the back of that right leg. Head is on the ground, tailbone low, coming into Recline Pigeon, stretching out the outside of the hip a little bit. And maybe rock if it feels good. You don't have to rock. If you want to go a little deeper, what you could do is actually hug that leg that's close to you. So I've got the foot into the crux of one arm and the knee into the crux of the other arm, so I can get a little bit more leverage getting into a deeper hip stretch. Not for everybody. That most of you are probably just going to be holding onto the back of the leg. And again, you can rock, just giving the back a little bit of a massage. And then we switch legs, out of the right foot onto the left leg. Right foot is flex, dorsiflexion. You're pulling the legs in. A little bit of rocking. Hug that leg if you want, if you can, if it feels okay. And a bit more rocking. This can be quite a stretch on the hip. And we release. We take hold of the back of the legs. We rock up. We pull the feet in. We're back into downward facing dog. We look forward, we walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up. Exhale folding forward. Bend the knees into chair. And then we come all the way up. So remember I said, when you're on your back and we've got the strap, the leg is raised over to one side then the other side. I said, imagine doing that standing up. So we're going to do it standing up. If you want to use a strap, you can. What we'll do it twice. We'll do it first with the knee bent, and then we'll do it with the leg straight, if you want. So, I'm going to do the mirror image. So you're on your right foot, and you bring the left leg, you hold on to the left leg, so the knee is bent. And then we take the leg over to the side, and I'm just going to bring my right hand onto my right hip like this. Balance is sometimes a little bit of a challenge on this one. We bring the leg back to center. We take hold of the outside of the leg with the other hand, and we come into the twist. I haven't really allowed myself enough room, but that's fine. I can use the window as a bit of support and a little bit of leverage to get into a deeper twist. And then we unwind. Other side, holding on to the shin just below the knee, very close to the knee. We take the leg over to the side. We bring the leg back to center. We bring the other hand outside the leg, and we twist in the other direction. Actually, having the door here is quite nice. Much easier to balance. And then we recenter. Okay, try it with the leg straight, just like we did lying down. If you can't, hold on to the big toe and straighten the leg like this. I would suggest you have a strap around the foot and you can hold on to the strap. So I'm holding onto the big toe, I'm retracting the shoulder back, and then I'm going to take the leg over to the side. Trying to keep my balance at the same time. I then bring the leg back to center. I take hold of the outside of the foot, or just hold onto the strap with the other hand, and then I take the twist. And then I come out of the twist, I bring the leg down. It's quite a challenge trying to do all that and keep your balance at the same time. Other side, holding onto the big toe of the other foot, or use the strap, or you can just have the knee bent, holding onto the knee. We take the leg over to the side. So we're getting a good stretch on the inside of the leg on these. We bring the leg back to center. We see if we can hold on to the outside of the foot, or just hold on to the strap with the other hand, and then we add the twist. We come out of the twist, and we bring the leg down, and we shake everything out. Okay, how are we doing? Come to the front of the mat. Inhale into chair. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We walk into plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, down dog. Hold down dog. Just recenter. We bring the right leg up and we sweep that foot through and we come into warrior one. And then we come into warrior two. So I'm going to take the feet a little bit wider in warrior two. Reverse warrior. And then extended side angle pose. We're resting the forearm onto that front leg and we're extending that top arm. Straight line from that top hand all the way through to that back foot. And if you want, you can start lowering that bottom hand. If you have a block, you could bring it onto a block, or you could bring the fingertips down to the ground. But you want to keep that straight line. If you can't keep the straight line, if you're more like this with the hips sticking up to the air, the ceiling, support yourself with your forearm. We come back into warrior two, reverse warrior, and then we flow to the other side. Plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. We're in warrior one on the other side. Stay in warrior one. I'm going to switch. You guys stay. And then we come into warrior two. Readjusting the feet slightly. Maybe going a little bit wider with the legs. We do a reverse warrior. And then extended side angle. You can just hang out an extended side angle. So why don't we just hang out here a little bit? Just see what's happening to your butt. Make sure it's not sticking out. Make sure that, but if you readjust it, make sure you're not pushing that top hip forward too much. You're trying to keep fairly neutral. And then if you want, you can lower that left hand, but you're trying to keep a straight line from that top hand all the way through to that back foot. You can be on the block if you want. You can just stay on the forearm. We come back into warrior two, reverse warrior, and then into plank. Chaturanga, inhaling into up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We look forward, we walk forward between the hands. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Knees bent. We're in chair. And then we come all the way up. Shake everything out. Take the feet nice and wide. And just bend one knee, hands down, bend one leg as you straighten the opposite one. Just a little bit more of a stretch on the inside of the legs. Just warming yourself up there. So what we're going to try next, we're going to do the same flow, but we're going to work our way into Bird of Paradise. Some of us. Challenging balance pose. I think what I'll do, I think I'll face you on this one. So let's just move my mat around. You come to the front of the mat. Inhale into chair. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands, we walk into plank. Chaturanga, inhaling into up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. We start off in Warrior One. And then we go into Warrior Two. Reverse Warrior. And then extended side angle pose. We lower that right hand. Now you're trying to keep the torso, the body facing the side of the room. And we're going to bring that lower arm centered on the thigh. You're going to lean towards the floor as you clasp the hands. And then you want to try and reopen up again. And if you can reopen, if your body's still facing the wall, you can take a few steps and bring that back foot to join the front foot. You balance on that foot you just brought forward. You're still in the bind. Try and keep your balance, and then you try and straighten that top leg, coming into Bird of Paradise. And breathe. I'm trying to straighten the leg, that's the best I can do. We come out the way we came in. Back into extended side angle. Warrior Two. Reverse Warrior. And we flow to the other side. Plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward dog. Hold down dog for 3 or 4 breaths, child's pose if you want. Recenter. We bring the left leg up and then we sweep that foot through. We're in Warrior One on the other side. Take your time. Warrior Two. Reverse Warrior. And then we come into extended side angle pose. You can stay here, or you can slide that arm down. You can stay here, or you see if you can take the bind. Once you're in the bind, you're trying to open up again. If you can open up, you can bring that back foot towards the front foot. You balance on that foot you just brought forward. Keeping that bind. And then we're extending that top leg. And then we bring that foot down. We come out the way we came in. Bringing the forearm onto that front leg, extended side angle. Warrior Two, Reverse Warrior, and then we're into plank, Chaturanga, up dog, downward facing dog, knees to the ground. Let's take child's pose and relax. And we come up. Just sit on the heels for a little bit. So what happens a lot is, there's a lot of openings needed in the shoulders, the hips for bird of paradise. And what happens a lot is, as people take the bind, they're stuck like this, they can't open up. So if you can't open up, it's best not to go any further. Another thing, what happens is people can't get the arm centered on the thigh, so they bring the hand right in the crutch like that. I don't think that's particularly comfortable. So you want to try and keep that arm centered in the thigh if you can, and then you open up before you come into bird of paradise. Challenging pose. Come into a seated position. Bring the soles of the feet together. Holding on to the outside of the feet, fingers interlaced, and we're just going to rock from side to side a little bit. And as we rock, we're getting a little bit closer to the heels. Then we become still. You're trying to get the back neutral, so we're in Badakanasana. So the back is neutral. The knees are pretty low. If your back is rounded, your knees are high, you want to sit on something, a cushion or a block. We then just bring the knees up and down a few times. You can go fast or slow. Also called butterfly pose. So we're flapping the wings of the butterfly. We become still again. A lot of arm strength, trying to get a dog tilt, and then you're trying to bring those knees closer and closer to the ground. And then we let the knees come up. We keep the left foot pulled in. We're going to go into a seated twist. And we take the right foot inside or outside that leg. Soles solidly on the ground. And we're going to hug the knee, or we bring the arm outside the leg, trying to relax the shoulders. And we come into the twist. Other hand is behind you, giving you support. Inhale, get tall. Exhale into that twist. 3 breaths. We unwind and we switch legs. Foot solidly on the ground. You're hugging the leg, or you're bringing the arm outside that leg, getting tall, trying to soften the shoulders, coming into the twist. We unwind and we come onto our backs, pulling knees in and just rocking. Happy baby, we hold onto the feet. So I'm holding onto the inside of the feet. You can hold onto the inside or the outside of the feet. And I'm using quite a lot of arm strength, getting the legs close to the ground. And I'm trying to keep the tailbone as close to the ground as I can. Then take hold of the big toes, palms face each other. And we extend the legs into a V, or approaching a V, pulling the shoulders away from the ears. And you're breathing. For this one, the stretch for me, I feel it down the inside of the legs. And then we take hold of the back of the legs, we rock ourselves up. So a wide angled, a seated, legs spread wide, as wide as you can. Bring up the flesh from the hips to the back. So this is a challenge for a lot of people. Most people think hate this pose. A lot of opening on the inside of the legs, opening on the hips, and start off pushing the heels out, pulling the toes in, and just see if you can walk those fingers a little bit more forward. And you're trying to fold forward, trying not to round the back, no pressure on the back, keep the back nice and happy, and see if you can bring the forearms to the ground. And come up a little bit, pull the hips a little bit more forward, trying to get the roundness out of the back, and you fold forward again. If you can go deeper, what you could try is making fists with the hands, stacking the fists, and bringing the forehead onto the top fist. I'm going to try and widen the legs a little bit more. That gives me a little bit more opening of those hips. I'm trying to get an external rotation of the legs. So I've got my thumb onto the inside crease of the hips, trying to externally rotate, and that's going to let you go a little bit more forward. And eventually you're going to come all the way down, have the chest and the chin on the ground, arms extended forward. It takes a lot of repetitions, practice, patience, no force. But that's as far as I'm going to go today. I'm bringing my fingers underneath my knees just to assist the legs up. And it's so nice to come out of that pose. I really feel that stretch in the hips on that one. Come onto your back. Full body stretch. Reach the arms over the head, getting length, and breathe. Take a little bit of a side stretch, getting into that banana shape, stretching out one side of the body. Take about 3 or 4 breaths here. And then we stretch out the other side. And then we recenter. We come into Shabasana, arms either side of you, palms up. Make sure you've got plenty of length in the back of the neck. Tuck in the chin, back of the head on the ground or a cushion. Moisten the lips, keep the hands, palm of the hands up, back of the hands down. Closing the eyes, totally relax. Letting the whole body get heavy, sinking into the ground, and breathe. You're just letting yourself meld with the earth, melt into the earth. It's almost like you're trying to become one with the earth. And then just stretch out the hands. Keep them stretched out. Stretch out the toes. And relax the hands and the feet. Walk the feet in towards you. With the eyes closed, roll over to one side. Take 2 or 3 breaths there. And again, with the eyes closed, gently push yourself into a seated position. And then inhale as you sweep those arms up. Exhale, you're bringing the hands down. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale as they come down. One more, inhale. This time keep the palms together, hands to the forehead. Namaste.